Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and here I have 3 different types of kakis and 1 goat I have to chase away every 2 minutes because she wants to eat my fruit. Well, what's so strange with those kakis? Well, the genus Diospyrus has, I think, how many hundred species? Well, several hundred species. And this is still all one single species, Diospyrus kaki, the normal kaki plum, which has been popularized throughout the last couple decades. However, the group of varieties which have been popularized during the last couple decades are those here, the modern ones, without a lot of bitter or astringent taste. Here on the other side we have 2 varieties which are usually being called country varieties, or in this case Fruta del País, in this case Kaki del País in Spain. I'm on the island of Gran Canaria, and despite the desert-like climate, you can grow kakis here, although most are being grown in the cold areas of the island. And yeah, I have those commercially grown kakis which you could eat while still hard as wood, and they would be sweet and pleasant. However, the ones I bought are already really soft, which is even better for me. I prefer them soft. Then I bought some of the traditional kakis. Those are quite similar to the ones I found in Egypt a couple years ago. The ones in Egypt were really elongated. Those are a little bit elongated, and both are bright red. And I think those will be really astringent and unpleasant when not completely ripe. And I think of those 4, maybe this is almost ripe enough, but maybe not ripe enough. And here I have a seedling kaki where the vendor, get away from here or I'm gonna serve you for dinner, where the vendor told me those are Kaki del País, so it must be a seedling plant and not a grafted named variety. But he says, despite the fact it is a Kaki del País, you can still eat the completely hard fruit. So let's try that. Let's start with the commercial kakis. Which one is the softest one? I think this one is the softest and most ripe one. Already soft and translucent. Let's remove the label with some of the skin. That's what they look like on the inside. And now let's try it. Nice and sweet. I'm trying to extract those segments they have inside. And I'm failing. I'm failing for some reason. The inside of the kaki contains some gelatinous cartilaginous segments, which for me are the tastiest part. So this one, yeah, very soft, pretty sweet, but not very sweet, which tells me that it was picked many weeks ago as an underripe fruit, probably somewhere on the Spanish peninsula. Where is it from? Origin Valencia, from Valencia. Yeah, Rioja Brillante, yeah. This is the standard modern kaki variety in Spain. The standard modern kaki variety, for example, in Israel is Sharon, but the one in Spain is kaki, is Rioja Brillante. Yeah, and most kaki sold on the European markets nowadays are Rioja Brillante. Sharon looks like this one, more or less. It's flat and basically square. But he said this is not a real Sharon. Maybe it's a seedling from a Sharon seed. But let's first try the really traditional one. This one is very soft, you can see, but it's still not completely soft. So I think it will still be quite tart and astringent. The soft parts are really nice, much sweeter than the Rioja Brillante because this was picked much more ripe. It's quite fibrous, as you can see. The Rioja Brillante has very few soft fibers, but this one has much tougher fibers. I feel a little bit of tartness in my mouth. The tartness and the pelty feeling in your mouth will never completely disappear with those old Kaki varieties. But yeah, the sweetness definitely dominates. Nope, nothing for you. All those cartilaginous parts are still fused together in one part at the center. This fused part is even more tart, but still the sweetness dominates. Well, this one basically no tartness, but not too much sweetness. Very soft and not too much sweetness. This sweeter, but harder, and also with this tartness. And your tongue and all the inside of your mouth gets covered with those. Well, it gets covered with the surface. Oh god, the next goats are already approaching. They are surrounding me. They are surrounding me from all sides. I wouldn't be surprised to find a seed in this one. In modern kakis that's very rare, but in traditional ones it's not unheard of. I mean, those are usually derived from seeds, they are from seedlings, so yeah, it's not, don't come closer, it's not unheard of for them to have seeds. In the modern kakis it's a big exception. Nope, stay away from my fruit, stay away from my fruit, I'm telling you. So now this guy claimed that even the unripe ones are totally good to eat in this variety. It could be possible if the seed from which this seedling was grown. Get away from my fruit. Oh, look at them. They're like predators. I'm chasing away one of them and the other one is approaching from behind. They are like wolves basically. Now chasing away this one and this one is approaching. Okay, this looks like Sharon, like the variety Sharon. So I think the seed might have come from a Sharon fruit. Some of them still have seeds. It's quite rare to have a seed in a modern Kaki variety, but it happens. No. This guy lied at me. Lied to me. The sweetness is still dominant in this one, but I would say the astringency is up. Stay away from my fruit. I know this one is coming. I need to establish a defensive perimeter here with the chairs. Okay, the sweetness is still dominant, but this disgusting tartness of the kakis is too present. In this one, because it was very ripe, I could already eat it. This one would maybe be on the level of this one. It's much riper, but it will be maybe at the tartness level of this one, which tells me, okay, those are not that tart, but still too tart. Now let's try a really ripe one of the flat variety, so ripe that it already fell apart. Really nice, quite sweet, and with a different flavor. Stay away. I don't know if the flavor comes because it's not so fresh anymore, or if it is the genuine flavor of this plant, but yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. So folks, those were 3 Kaki varieties you can find on the island of Gran Canaria, or basically everywhere in Spain. The Rioja Brillante, which dominates the Spanish and European Kaki markets and has done so for decades. Some really old-fashioned country variety, which needs to be really ripe to be edible. And some more modern seedling country variety, which also needs to be quite ripe to be edible. And some goats, which I'm gonna barbecue tonight. I might be a vegetarian, but there is a limit to what a person can take. When they start nibbling on my fruit, it's over. Well, folks, so those were 3 kakis in Gran Canaria. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit and possibly goat videos from the beautiful island of Gran Canaria. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.